Hey everyone, good evening. Thank you for the contribution, FLK Root. So on Friday we tried to tackle the hard machine certificate from Hack the Box, and we managed to get to a point where we had shells on the box and we saw the path forward. However, after confirming with some friends, basically the box is not doable without using a write-up because the certificate expired on the box. So the only path available for exploitation is basically nullified. So I'm not even gonna continue that box. So I'm gonna do another Windows box today. And I'll be doing a medium box because I don't have as much time tonight as I had on Friday. So I'll be doing visual. So let's get that started. Let me just boot up the machine. I'm already connected to Hack the Box. Just waiting for an IP address now. I will post the write-up as what we've done on Friday because I still think there are some interesting bits in there. So if you want to see it, you're gonna be able to do that on my website, but I'm not gonna continue the box because there's no point in doing it. You cannot really do or follow step by step with what I've done without seeing an actual write-up. So I don't see the point of using someone else's work for this. Come on, Hack the Box. Hey Lucifer, good evening. Good weekend? Well, I didn't do much, just went for some walks with my dog, so quite relaxing. Okay, no ports have been discovered initially. Let's give the box a few minutes to boot up because it seems like it's having issues. I would have expected some ports to be returned initially. There we go. So we have port 80 opened on the machine. Let's start burp for that. Doesn't seem to be using a named host. So right. I can already see it's running PHP. Again, this being a Windows box, this takes me to maybe it's XAMPP, but we'll see. Right, let's see what we have here. Seems like a website that allows us to build .NET and C# programs. That's interesting. And we have a submit Git repo here. Anything else on the website? No. Let's spawn. To see if we can get a callback. Okay. Let's send that to repeater just in case. I think our port scanner is basically killing the machine. We've seen that happen before with some machines, so let's kill that. We have something to go on. If we cannot find anything on the website, then we can run a more in-depth port scan. And we see we actually get a callback from the machine. So let's see what it actually says. We need a Git repo, and we need an SLN file for them to compile. But before we start doing that, let's run a directory buster. Yeah, that's fine. Extension PHP, I just need the IP address. So we have an uploads directory which seems to redirect. Let's see where that one is going. And we don't have the ability to list anything there. There's a JavaScript folder as well. Let's see. and we have directory listing in the JS folder. Scripts, and it's empty. That's not very useful. What else? Just some bogus. These will always return 403 on Windows. Okay, so nothing stands out there. Let's try to focus on the Git repository. In general, whenever there's a build command, you're gonna be thinking of pre-build, pre-compile, or pre-setup scripts that can give you remote code execution. A very good example of that is Shai Hulud, the worm that went out on NPM. It started last year, and it's still ongoing because it's now spreading to Maven and it's spreading to some other package maintainers as well. So with the information that we have here, let's take some notes. So now basically what we need to try to replicate is a Git repository with a C# application. So do I have .NET installed? Actually, I do have .NET 6. So let's see how we create a new .NET project from scratch. Console is fine, it doesn't really matter. Language C#. Okay. And SDK version, that's what I was wanting, that's what I was looking for as well, because we need to specify SDK version 6. So, exploit .NET new console language C#, SDK version, that one, and we need a name, don't we? TechN test project. Okay. Okay, so it's they've changed the options for this one, and it's net 6.0. There we go. So now we have our test project. We don't have an source file, SLN file. So we only have the CSproj, we have the object. So we will need to generate that that as well, which is a solution file. Let's see. So we have an project file there. Let's put these into our notes. Right, now we would need to generate a Git repo here. To do that, okay, let's see if test project. Let's see if this one will actually resolve. We might need to host it on something else, not necessarily on a Python web server. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so it's returning 404 as well for this one. What exactly is it expecting? would need to somehow emulate the Git repo. Hosting infrastructure. Do I have Nginx running? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's close that off. Okay, so I want to change the port. I don't want to use okay, so we are listening on port 8444. Access log, and let's see if we send this again. I just want to see if there are any errors that are thrown by Nginx for 404. Yeah, there we go. So we need to replicate that file system. Does it take a path as well? Would be good if it takes a path, because that means we can actually set it to... Yeah, it does. Perfect. So what we can do is speed that back up. So now we have our test project in here, and we have new folder, info, refs. We don't really care about the query, but we do need to see what that actually what other request it's making afterwards. File copied successfully. Follow redirection. Follow. Okay, so the build is still being done, but let's see. Right. So it seems like we need to do some configuration on our Nginx. So but our repositories are not under Git, they're under let's use Git. We can change that, that's fine. Okay, let's save that for now. Set that variable as well, because it's being used in the location block. For HTML git. Okay, that means we need to and let's copy the instructions from here. Okay. So it's under data, so it should Nginx should have access to this, but in any case, let's actually, I'm not gonna chown it just yet. I do want to change that. My repo.git. And then we need to install and configure CGI wrap. Do I have it? Okay, I don't actually have it installed. Active running. Okay, so we have that running now. And we need to, this one we would need to do. Actually, it is already data, so we don't need to do anything to it. Okay, so let's reload Nginx. Okay, now in theory we should be able to clone our own repo. Let's do git clone HTTP 10.10.14.33 /git/ what was the name of the file that I've just created? My repo. No, we got an error. Let's see. Okay, so we need to I did. There we go. Unable to clone. Do I need to move it outside of yeah, that's already there. So the git bear is in here. But I think because of the path of where it exists, so var html, it doesn't like that. So I'm just gonna move it somewhere else. Because I think I would need to do save directory recursively on all of them, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm just gonna go to and do the git bear there, and then basically move everything over. Okay, so now we have the empty repository. We have that as well. Okay, and now we would have to modify the default configuration here. Okay, so now it's no longer complaining about the safe directory. It was because it was in var dub data. Okay, so now what we can do is basically just copy the files that we have in here. Yeah, everything. Copy to my repo, and then okay, we're not allowed to push. Service not enabled. So we would need another pack in Nginx. Let's see. Right, so we need to receive pack 1 to enable pushing. So this one's the only one that we need to add. Oh, fair enough. So I need to chmod it again. Alt. Let's see. Nope. So it's owned by www data. It's read write. The group doesn't have write though. Oh. So we have set all of that up, but why doesn't it allow? Do I need to give data to Git as well? Let's see. Yeah, let's chbone. Let's do Git and Git. So now it's the directory is owned by the parent directory is owned by Git. Let's see. No. I'm still getting the service not enabled. Yeah, it's still not. Let's see. Come on, Git. We don't need to handle the conditions separately because they're all handled in one block. Not what they say here with receive back and upload back, because we have them separate. They have them separate. Okay. Git. That's not what I want. Nope. So, using a bit of AI to help generate this, let's see. There we go. Thank you, AI. So now we've actually pushed the data in this repository. And we have some objects in there as well. Good. Let's take a note of that, because will come in handy later on. Okay, so now we have the repository there. Let's see if we trigger an upload, will it actually build the application. What was it? Git. So we got the build success. But there's no file download. I wonder why. Well, in any case, we don't need so many root terminals anymore. Yeah, we need that browser, we don't need that one. .NET. Let's see if we can generate one. Okay, so we need to run another command in the repository, which we seem to have add. So now we've added the project to the solution. There we go. that looks a bit better. So git add all. We've pushed it, and now if we rebuild, we should get a file back. So let's see. So at this point, I'm just trying to get the application to build the file correctly, and then we can look at exploiting it. There we go. So now we actually have an exe file that was compiled. We don't really care about this one. What we do want to find out is C# prebuild commands. So build events. And we can basically execute commands on prebuild. So we go here, project, target prebuild, and I'm just gonna do 10, 10, 14, 33 to see if we get the callback. There we go. And in the meantime, we shall split that and do pserv 80. Once we see we get the callback, we can get a shell, or I'm thinking because we started using Adaptix on Friday, I'm just going to use an Adaptix shell because I already have that pre-built. And I know that that's gonna, even if there is Defender on the box, we won't have any problem with that. So let's see where we are. Okay, so we didn't place the file where it should be. Do we need to place it in the property group? Let's see. No. Actually, we can test it locally. So the target is unrecognized. So what I found is that this is actually outside of the project group, but for some reason Now it's compiling. But it didn't execute. Oh. Curl. Should have wget, but let's add back the oh, it actually triggered. Okay. So maybe maybe there's no wget on the system. No, that will definitely not work on my system, so we need to test. So I did try to execute it, but it's failing with that. Oh, and I think I know why. Because this is building in the Visual Studio type terminal. It might not have all the data available there, so all the environment variables, so wget might not be there. Invoke web request might not be there. So what we can do instead is not Python. Oof, PowerShell. Tag C, and we can use that and see if that will actually work. Trial and error. The only annoying part is that you have to wait so much for the build to succeed, but oh, thank you for the contribution. Where are we with the challenge? Oh, 11%. Not that bad. Still about 90k to go. Yeah, no chance, but I think I'm gonna put it up to 60 days. I'm just at the start of streaming, so there are not that many people to contribute at the moment. I do want to do the challenge because it would be an interesting type of stream to do it for 24 hours. So on Friday I had a 7-hour stream, and that was quite interesting as well. It's an interesting machine, unfortunately. It doesn't work. Oh, the build succeeded, but we didn't get a callback. So the PowerShell and the build succeeded, but we didn't get a callback. Right, let's do it a bit differently. Let's try with curl. Let's see. That might... Because I cannot get any kind of information out of the system at the moment. So I'm just trying to figure out how to exfiltrate some data to even figure out the version of Windows or anything that's running there. Thank you for the contribution. So the build was a success, and we still didn't get a call back. So, but why? We tested this locally, and it did work with curl. We did get a callback, but we don't get a callback with PowerShell on the other end. I know. Yeah, fair enough. I think that's the full command name in PowerShell. Yeah. Let's clean that up a bit. You think that you need to specify the URL? I think it's taking in the first parameter as the URI by that default. Oh no. You're right. Web request. No, I think it takes the first parameter as a URI by default anyway. But we now have two tests with both, so let's see. So build successful, but no callback. Yeah, and let me try something. Maybe it doesn't like the... Hey Z-Signs, how are you? So I'm thinking maybe it doesn't like the single quotes in inside of the command argument. Nope. Now it failed with some error, so let's see the error. We can see it's actually placing it in C Windows temp. It's using PowerShell. Oh, so we didn't get a call back. No, that won't work. Not in here anyway. Is there another way to define the... Thank you for the follow, Corey. I'm doing a CTF from Hack the Box. I'm not actually coding anything at the moment. I'm trying to break into a machine. Legally. But it requires for us to define a .NET 6 project that will be built on the machine. So we're just trying to figure out how to set up pre-built events. Well, let's try a ping as well. No, stack N, I think, on Windows. Isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Let's try the ping as well. No, it errored out again. I think we need to still run it through PowerShell. Oh, that's why it bloody errored out. No, I had a single quote in my command. Which is there. No, I don't build the project locally because it's being built on the server from scratch. So ping works. And we've already tested that the machine can access port 80 on my machine, and it can access actually port 8444 as well, because that's where I'm serving the Git repo from. It's just figuring out the syntax for the execute here. Just want to check something. Let's try to add the script as this. Is that PreBuildEvent in property group? And here we can do PowerShell taxi 10, 14, 33. Let's remove that. Come on, server, compile faster. And we get the callback. So it was the bloody quotes in the other type of command. That's why it didn't work. It's the single quotes that created the issue. Amazing. Right. Let's close that. Go to exploit. Certificate exploit. And agent. There we go. Sudo, and then adaptx c2. Let's agent remove from server because we don't need those anymore. Do we have the listener running? listener running on port 80. Then we need to have that. So pre-built event, that's one command. Let's first download that and then we can start the process in a different task. Or should we just try to start it in one go? Yeah, let's do that. Right. So the agent that we are using is the Rust version of the compiled loader. We already have the agent file generated because we've done that on Friday, and my local IP address hasn't changed, so I can just reuse that. So in theory, we should see a call here for rr.exe, and then once the script starts, it should call out for agent x64.bin. And we should see an agent pop up in here. Hopefully. So if we look in the Adaptix client, we actually have a beacon running on that machine. So let's do some enumeration. I can see we are the user Enox, so, and as I said, it's running XAMPP as a PHP backend, so do we have a user flag for this one? We do. So we can give that to hack the box. And now we can let's see what processes there are running. This one seems to be running with a different user than us. So there's only administrator and us on the box. Let's run seatbelt while we're at it. Let's leave that one running in case we need to rerun the command, but local scripts, sharp collection. So while that's running, I want to have a look at the XAMPP folders to see what's in there. Maybe we have some passwords or anything of that sort. Okay, we can have a look at that later. Docs. That doesn't give us much. No, it's submit, not upload. Do we have access to write to this folder? Even uploads would be useful. Read, execute, everyone full control. Okay. Let's do Okay, so, oh. Let's have a look at Seedwell to see what it came back with. And then we can look at the web shell that we've just uploaded. So there is some anti-malware scanning going on there as well. But we don't have to worry about that. Not yet anyway. So we have the compile script here. Let's see what it actually has in there. There we go. So the Apache server is running as a local service. Which means that would give us a different shell than what we have now, because we are now running as Enox. That's good to know. So let's see. So the script executes. I was afraid that because I'm running it in the uploads folder, the script wouldn't execute, but the PHP code executes correctly. Which means if we do anti-authority local service, right, let's put that into our notes. So what we can do is basically the exact same command that we've done here. The only difference would be we change the file name so we don't interfere with the one that we already have. Let's do RL and then do RL here as well. We have the server already running there, and agent bin was called, and we get the local service account. So we are a local service, but we don't have all the privileges. Someone suggested a few streams ago that I look into FullPowers for this particular reason. So let's have a look. Okay, we need to compile this one, don't we? Yes. So whoever suggested that script, I hope it works. I was talking to myself here. So it didn't work because it's not a C# assembly, and it cannot support that, but we can execute it manually from here. And we have a few more privileges now. Let's see if that's reflected here as well. If it is, then we can use something like GodPotato, because we have SeImpersonatePrivilege. Let me just write some notes. So actually, in this particular session, we don't have all the privileges. So what we need to do is start process, Windows, tasks, and hopefully that will give us a new session with oh, it started the new CMD, of course. There we go. So now we actually have all the please tell me it didn't close my shell. Do we have a clean terminal now? I think we do. Agent bin, and we have a new session. And now we actually have a session with all the privileges required, and we should have GodPotato here. Or not. Is it in... Yeah, so we have GodPotato there. What's the usage for GodPotato? CMD. And we get system. So let's write some notes. So in the system, we can just do, I think we're in system 32, but let's double check. Yeah. Users, administrator, desktop. And we have the root flag. Any questions? I think the hardest part was setting up the Git repository to work with Nginx and have it running locally. But other than that, interesting box. Actually, what I am going to do is, so now I have it available for other boxes as well. I don't necessarily need to have it there. Well, if there aren't any questions, I think that's about it for today. I'll be streaming again Wednesday, and then Friday I'll probably try to do another hard machine. So thank you for the bits, McLucifer. Have a nice rest of the evening, what's left of it, and oh, good luck with your engagement next week. Well, see you all on Wednesday. Have a good one.